General welfare? What's general welfare? Let's head to the library and find out.
I'm Jennifer Hamilton for We the People. I'm here in front of the Oklahoma City Downtown Municipal Library to look up some definitions, general and welfare. Let's go see what the Founding Fathers really meant. Come on.
All right, we found a pretty old dictionary, so let's find out the definitions of these two words. General. 1. Involving, applicable to, or affecting the whole. 2. Involving, relating to, or applicable to every member of a class, kind, or group. 3. Not confined by specialization or careful limitation. 4. Belonging to the common nature of a group of like individuals. 5. Relating to, determined by, or concerned with main elements rather than limited details. Okay, so the word general is either referring to A, we the people, not individuals, all the people of the United States. It doesn't refer to a specific set of people. It doesn't refer to the poor or to the rich or to the employers or to the unemployed. It doesn't refer to the single or the married or the orphans. It refers to we the people, all the people. So restating the preamble using that definition, provide for the common defense, promote the welfare of all the people of the United States. Or general could be referring to B, the welfare, all the welfare, not a specific item, but all the welfare, the general welfare. It seems more likely that it's referring to the people. Either way, we need to know what welfare means. We've been assuming that welfare means money, helping out the poor with a monthly check. But the welfare program didn't start until the 1930s, almost 150 years after the Constitution was written. So we went back to see what welfare meant to the founders. According to the 1828 edition of Noah Webster's American Dictionary, just 40 years after the Constitution was written, welfare was defined as health, happiness, prosperity, well-being. Exemption from misfortune, sickness, calamity, or evil, the enjoyment of health and the common blessings of life, prosperity, happiness applied to persons. Exemption from any unusual evil or calamity, the enjoyment of peace and prosperity, or the ordinary blessings of society and civil government applies to states. It's interesting how the actual definition showed a difference when referring to people versus states. Okay, so can all people experience misfortune, sickness, calamity, evil? Of course. None of these things are exclusive to the poor or to the unemployed. Now, obviously, money can pay for health care, but it can't guarantee that you won't get sick or that you won't die. And money certainly doesn't guarantee peace. We see millionaires with stress levels far higher than some of the poor. Money doesn't guarantee happiness either. So now, the definitions of general and welfare make it even more clear that general welfare doesn't mean a monthly check for the poor. Let's restate the preamble using these two definitions now. Provide for the common defense. Promote the exemption from misfortune, sickness, calamity, or unusual evil. Promote the enjoyment of health and the common blessings of life, prosperity, happiness, or the ordinary blessings of society and civil government for all the people. But that would be pretty wordy, so the founders just said, promote the general welfare. The word that sticks out to me now is not general or welfare, but rather promote. The Constitution makes a clear distinction between provide and promote. Provide for the common defense. Promote the general welfare. Provide is defined as 1. Make available for use, supply. 2. Equip or supply someone with something useful or necessary. Promote is defined as 1. Further the progress of, support, or actively encourage. 2. Give publicity to, so as to increase sales or public awareness. You can easily provide for the common defense by levying and collecting taxes from the people to pay for the defense of the nation. But how can you levy and collect taxes to ensure that people won't get sick, or won't experience calamity, or won't experience unusual evil? You can't. but you can promote or actively encourage an environment that allows people to seek these things for themselves. You can establish laws that allow these things to be equally pursued by all people. Now, you can also say, since the founders used the word general, that the federal government cannot try to benefit one particular group of people. The federal government cannot try to benefit Massachusetts more than Delaware. The federal government can't give benefits to California that it doesn't also give to Oklahoma. The federal government cannot provide finances to the unemployed unless it also provides those same finances to the employers. Because we all make up the general. The definitions of general and welfare simply do not mean take care of the people.
We just looked up the definition of general and welfare. Nothing in either one of those suggests promoting the general welfare means taking care of people. Maybe we need to go back inside and find out what the Founding Fathers really meant by general welfare and taking care of the people. Let's try again.
So here's a bunch of quotes that Jennifer and I found about general welfare from the founders, what they really meant by the term general welfare. James Madison said in a letter to James Robertson, "With respect to the two words, general welfare, I have always regarded them as qualified by the detail of powers connected with them. To take them in a literal and unlimited sense would be a metamorphosis of the Constitution into a character which there is a host of proofs was not contemplated by its creators." And in 1794, when Congress appropriated $15,000 for French refugees who fled from San Domingo to America, James Madison stood on the House floor and said, "I cannot undertake to lay my finger on the article of the Constitution which granted a right to Congress of expending on objects of benevolence the money of their constituents." Thomas Jefferson said, "Congress has not unlimited powers to provide for the general welfare, but only those specifically enumerated." This is simple. Congress can only provide what is specific in the Constitution. If it doesn't specifically say in the Constitution, then Congress is not obliged or permitted to provide it. Jefferson also said, "To preserve our independence, we must not let our rulers load us with perpetual debt. If we run into such debts, we must be taxed in our meat and drink, in our necessities and our comforts, in our labor and in our amusements. If we can prevent the government from wasting the labor of the people under the pretense of caring for them, they will be happy." Again, this quote is clear. If we take too much from the people in order to provide for other people, no one's going to be happy. Jefferson even implies that too much government debt would lead to things like taxing meats and drinks, necessities and comforts, labors and amusements. These words imply that these things weren't meant to be taxed in the first place, certainly not to the degree they're taxed today. And the enemy to our freedom was debt. Debt would lead to the need to tax everything. Ben Franklin said, "I am for doing good to the poor, but I differ in opinion of the means. I think the best way of doing good to the poor is not making them easy in poverty, but leading or driving them out of it." Franklin was a charitable man. He's responsible for the first private hospital. He went door to door raising money from the people to build the first private hospital. But he too knew that it could not be the government's job to care for the people. Doing this would lead to financial collapse for the United States. Boy, could he see into the future. It doesn't sound to me like the founders' definition of general welfare meant take care of the people either. We've also got to remember the preamble is just an introduction of what's to come. It doesn't grant any powers at all. The powers granted to the Congress come in Article 1, Section 8. The Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. Notice this time the word promote is missing before general welfare. So some would now argue, see, the founders did mean to provide for the general welfare. But clearly the word general still means all the people. And nowhere in the definition of welfare can we assume it means money. Welfare clearly refers to health, happiness, prosperity, and well-being. And the most important part of all, the words of the United States. Provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. The founders were clearly stating welfare of the United States, not individuals, not groups, but of the United States themselves. The rest of Article 1, Section 8 lays out the actual duties defined in this opening statement. None of these duties includes caring for the people of the United States or providing assistance to the people of the United States. The meaning of promote the general welfare is clear when we take the entire Constitution into context. General welfare concerns the well-being of the Union, the mutual benefit of the states, the health of the collection of states, not the well-being or financial condition of individuals or groups of individuals, not the well-being of corporations, farmers, families, individuals, employers, or the unemployed, not the financial condition of the rich or of the poor. But in America today, we constantly divvy out money to states or groups of people at the expense of others. We constantly take from one financial class and give to another, and we're all suffering. California should not be responsible for the tornado destruction in Oklahoma. Oklahoma should not be responsible for the earthquake destruction in California. And the hard worker should not be forced to supplement the lazy man. Should we have compassion? Yes, but with our own pocketbook. It's not compassion to care for others with money from someone else's wallet. That's not compassion. That's theft.